What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the 2 times 212 Olympia champion, the giant killer Shawn Clarida. So many of us thought that he was done after winning Japan Pro, where the man lived up to his name of being the giant killer, and he took down some giants at that show, like Joan Pradels, Florian Poisson, Mark Hector, and he won another pro show in the Open. So it turns out that Shaun is still going strong, and the man is gonna clean house at the upcoming China Pro, and this time in the 212. So what an incredible year this has been for Shaun. He made such a good comeback at Mr. Olympia this year. He proved to everyone that age is just a number for him, and is still the biggest threat to the reigning champion Keon. The man absolutely dominated an open bodybuilding show, and he's now carrying this momentum all the way to the end of this season. Now, do not forget that Shaun also competed at the Arnold, Ohio earlier this year in the Open, so he has been pretty much dieting for most part of this year. So now that Shaun doesn't have to worry about the bigger guys here in this show, as this time he's gonna be competing in the 212, we might see a very crispy looking Shaun to step on the stage in China Pro, something similar to what we saw at the Olympia this year, which was arguably the best look of his entire career and this year so far. So Bulat solo group, he's the other guy to look forward to stepping on the stage in China Pro. The guy with probably the freakiest arms in the whole of 212 division right now. The same guy who won his pro debut last year at this same show, but for some reason, he did not do the Olympia this year. But now he's again in for China Pro. Now all in all, it's gonna be an easy win for Shawn Clarida, especially if he shows up close to his personal best. There is simply no chance for any of these guys, including Bulat, to have a go at Shaun. I mean, this guy hasn't even stepped on the Olympia stage yet. So what do you guys think? Can Shaun be the first guy allowed by the IFBB to do the Olympia both in the 212 as well as in the Open Bodybuilding next year? Is that a possibility? Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So Goodvito has been posting the most impressive throwbacks from his last prep, which was for the Olympia. So that front double biceps, without any shadow of a doubt, that is one of the best in the world across all divisions. And considering the fact that this is the first mandatory that the judges asked all these guys to hit when they first step on the stage, especially in those comparison rounds, it's a big advantage for someone like Goodvito to have such a strong pose. So Vito has been one of those guys who lived up to all the hype, all the expectations, and not just from a year back, but back then when he was competing in another league. He was so famous even back then, because he had those crazy quads, the flaring, the roundness, the 3Dness, that was so impeccable, and he had that crazy X-frame. And that's why Goodvito is that one guy who is going to be one of the most exciting talent to look out for in 2026 too. Because the man is so devoted and so committed to improving his physique, and he not only has some of the best genetics in the men's open bodybuilding, he has an amazing team in the form of Chris Acito, Fabrico, and also Derek Lunsford backing him up. But also the man has insane work ethic. So many of us thought that he probably should have placed higher than top 10 at this past Olympia. But considering the fact that this was his debut, that placing is something to be very proud of. So Goodvito is gonna be the first Olympia call-out guy very soon. It's just a matter of time for him. And hopefully he's investing more time, more effort in terms of posing and presentation as he preps for the Arnold Brazil next year. And I am very sure that he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with come Olympia next year. So Ali Edward has been very aggressive with putting on size ever since he got done with competing, and that was at Europa Pro Germany, where he placed third behind Urs and Quentin Beastwood. Now he's gonna have to make sure that he doesn't ruin his waistline in this process, as we have seen that happen time and time again with many great athletes that in chase of more size, they kind of ruin their midsection. Now I know size is the biggest criteria for the open bodybuilding, But if that size that comes at the expense of a wider waistline, that's simply not worth it. And that won't be going in your favor. Now Nick Walker, who came at his all-time biggest at this year's Olympia, that is the perfect example of that. So Ali Edwards showed some great potential earlier this year when he competed at the weight pro as well. So he has those big crazy arms, very complete back, and the man has got great overall density too, which is something we all know only comes after years and years of training hard and putting your heart and soul in the gym. Now from 2024 to 2025, he made some very big improvements, but still not enough to win a pro show, the first one, and secure his Olympia spot. But everyone noticed how impressive he was at Europa Pro Germany, especially when he first came out and he stood next to Orskila Shinsky. And when that comparison of him came out, hitting the front double, that went absolutely viral. So keeping that waist tight during this process of putting on more muscle, more mass, more quality lean muscle tissue, that's gonna be a key factor on how high he can go as an IFBB pro. So if he picks a show more strategically, he might be able to get his first pro win and secure his Olympia spot for next year. So today we got another update from Josema Beast, aka Jose Manuel, and this one deserves more recognition. So if someone has fully striated chest, especially hitting that front lat spread, then he truly is the definition of peeled inside out. And we have different levels on how far the conditioning gets pushed by some of these current IFBB pros, and then we have the level of Josema Beast and the conditioning that he brings. Absolutely bonkers, out of this world. So I think only two other guys in the pro rank have those kind of striations on their chest. Andrew Jagged, Hadi Chopin, or Stefan Matala too. And they're all competing in the open. So this is the trademark Josema Beast condition that made him top 6 at the Olympia last year. And this year he jumped another 2 spots. So the old school guys, they always bring the 90s level of conditioning. But somehow they fail to acknowledge guys like Josema Beast, who are absolutely ripped out of their minds in this era. So this is a supreme level of dryness that can hang in any bodybuilding era. So the back on Josema Beast, that is arguably the greatest back in the entire classic physique division at the moment. And that is also a big reason why he places that high. He gets so ripped and so dry, front to back, top to bottom, and exposes anyone who is also in a good condition, but not in a great condition. So the shape of his quads, that might be the biggest reason hindering him placing even higher. And it's highly unlikely that he can improve on that. But if some of those guys from the Olympia top 3, they come in even a tiny bit off, Josema will go past them. So how high do you guys rate this condition among the all-time best in the bodybuilding history? Also, hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.